First gas up. I better get used to this. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Today we have a big day. It's the E90 M3's first car show here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's gonna be sick. I just spent an hour cleaning up the car. We're ready, set to go, and then we are heading over to Dynamic Auto Tune for the first M3 oil change. First oil change in the car. They're gonna kind of look it over, make sure that everything is good with the car, and it seems like the guy before me actually put too much oil in it, which can be really bad for the car. So I just want to get a whole new fresh start to it. Have my guys over at Dynamic look the car over, get that clean bill of health, and then we're gonna be good to go. But first, you guys already know what needs to happen. We gotta get coffee, gas up, because this V8 drinks like nobody's business. Let's roll. Jesus, this wasn't here last night. Someone tore their stuff up. All right, cleaned up, ready to hit the show. Cleaned it to the best of my abilities. This paint needs some work, man. Definitely need a paint correction and some touch-up paint, and then proper buffing, PPF, and ceramic coating. Good morning. So a common issue with these E90s is this oil cap leaks. And what happens is there's a seal inside, obviously there's a seal inside of this oil cap, and the seal is not really tight enough for whatever reason. So I did a bunch of research on the E90 forums, and I actually ordered an E46 M3 oil cap that apparently solves the issue or makes it a little bit better. The problem with this current state right now is the guy before me, or whoever serviced the car before me, overfilled the car with oil, which is actually really bad for the car. Obviously you don't want to have like less than optimal oil in the car, but it's also not as good to overfill the car with oil. So the car has too much oil in it, and what's happening is it's hitting the top of the cap and then draining out here when I'm driving. I ordered a new cap. I took this one off, removed the actual seal inside, cleaned everything, cleaned the contact on here, and we'll see if it holds up at all. I'm not too worried about it because we're going to Dynamic to have the oil change done, and then I'm going to tell them about this and see if there's any kind of remedy. What also happens is the contact on the actual valve cover usually corrodes a little bit, and so it makes the seal even more tough. So there's a few issues like with this filler cap and the actual seal of the valve cover. It's not a big deal, but it is something that I wanted to point out. As you guys know, I like to cover the issues and then try and fix them, and if I come up with remedies, I'll let you guys know. So I spent like the last hour just kind of cleaning the car up, just getting it ready for a show. I haven't really driven it much this week, so it was pretty easy to clean up. What I actually used was detail spray. And you just want to make sure that the car doesn't have like any dust or pollen on it, because really what will happen is if you try to use like a detail spray and it already has like dust or pollen on it, it's just going to scratch the paint because you're just moving that around on the actual paint surface. So you just want to make sure the car is clean before you use this stuff. But I grabbed some of this. Huge shout out to Ethos Car Care. This stuff is amazing. I use a bunch of their products. I use their interior detailer, which is really nice. And then I use their tire shine and their wax and their shampoo. They just have a awesome line of products. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave links down in the description to all the stuff that I use. Anyways, let's hit the car show. We gotta gas up and grab some coffee. First cold start on the E90. Let's do it. I have a feeling this is a thing that I'm gonna have to get used to. This thing drinks, man. It takes gas in. That V8 just loves to drink. First gas up. So now that I've had a couple of days to drive both cars, this car and the F30, it's pretty interesting and just cool to see the differences in the vehicles. The F30 has a bunch of mods done, suspension and all that. It's on the ground. However, it doesn't handle nearly as well as the E90 M3. This car's on stock suspension, not for long. but it handles amazingly well. Like, it's just so wide, it's so planted on the ground. I'm just so impressed by this car's driving ability and how good it feels when you actually drive the car. Also, some of you may already know about this, but if you have the DCT transmission, this little dial right here, if you go up, the shifting actually gets harder. And if you go down, you can turn it into like grandma mode, which I'm in now. I'm just living that grandma life. And it's just like a really smooth shift. All right, you know it's a keeper when you got the old school cup holders. First drive on the freeway, it feels mostly good. The car is just super planted. There is a slight vibration in the steering wheel, which is definitely coming from the wheels. I think that those wheels are curved so bad that one of them might be slightly bent. I'm more than certain that this thing needs an alignment and pretty much the whole 9 yards. So that is at the top of the list to get done. Just pulled up. All Beamers show. Look at this. It's M36, my buddy's M3. We just got these side skirt extensions. Those are dope, man. They go with the contours of the car really well. This color's just wild. Such a good looking gold. There's so many F30s here. E90s, F30s. I love that with the red interior. Just pops. Pops. Silver. Makes me miss my silver.
Oh, that's funny. Right in front of the Euro.
Looking good, white. So this is wrapped. Look at the wrap on this thing. It's like a satin pearl white. Jesus. Oh my God. What's up? 335 convertible, M4, clean M4. This thing looks good. Looks super good. Damn, so many Beamers. Represent, represent. Brought the E90 out. Had to bring the E90 out. E30, what's up? Old school. E46 is super clean. Sheesh. With the one racing seat. It's sick. It's lit. This thing is dope. VMRs. I like it. It's got the CSL trunk. Man, I love the E46 M3s. If I didn't get an E90, I would have gotten the E46. So you guys have seen this on the channel before. Supercharged. This E90's goals. Should I do these? I'm on the fence. I don't know if I want to do them or not. But he's got the side skirt extensions I want. I want to do those extensions for sure. And then I want to do that diffuser as well. This car's clean, man. This car's super clean. I love it. So much more love for E90s now that I have one. All right, dope car meet. Some subscribers there, got to meet some new people. Always a good time. That's a fun one, man. I hope they do that more. I'll show up. Next time, maybe I'll bring the F30. So right now we are leaving the car meet. We're gonna head over to Dynamic Auto Tune. We're gonna get the first oil change in the E90. And we're about to find out. We're about to find out how the oil looks. Hopefully we don't find any little shavings in there from the engine or the crank. That would be a telltale sign that it is time immediately to do the rod bearings. Honestly, if we found shavings in the oil, I would probably just leave the car at Dynamic and have them do the rod bearings immediately. I'm pretty much on the cusp of just doing it right now. If I don't do it right now, it's gonna be next week when I get the F30 back, because I don't want to risk it, man. It's just such a common issue with these cars. I'm trying to preserve this car, so I feel like there's no point in just prolonging something that I'm gonna do inevitably. You guys probably already know the raffle is already live on the website. It's $2 to enter the raffle to win that N20, N26 MST intake. You do, however, have to be located in the US of A. Also, I want to note, if you are to buy any merch on the website, you are automatically entered for the raffle as well. Home sweet home. Pulled up to the shop. Thankfully, they don't look like they're too busy today, so it's perfect. I'm gonna get in, we're gonna get this baby's oil changed, see what we're talking about. At the shop with the boys, good old Dynamic. Got Audi chick here. Super wide body, sick Audi. Mr. M2 Ghost. Brink. Beamer gang, let's go see what's happening. All right, just drained all the oil out, and she got the clean bill of health, man. All the way front to back, the car is really, really good. So it's all good news. We just have to do the oil filler cap, like I mentioned before. We sanded down the top of it on the valve cover, and then we're gonna put the new cap on, and it should help that leak. But anything besides that, we do have a small leak coming from the actual valve cover gasket, so we're gonna replace all that when I do the rod bearings in a couple weeks. Other than that, we are good to go. Looks good up in the air though, even on the ground or in the air. All right, just left Dynamic. That is always the most nerve-wracking part of getting a new car, when they look it over for the first time, do the oil change, no metal shavings in the oil, which is good. That means we don't need to worry too bad about the rod bearings. We're gonna do them anyways though. The valve cover gasket does have just a tiny leak. It looks like it was a little bit like an older leak possibly. It's not fresh oil that we saw coming from it. It's kind of just like old dried up oil, but pretty common in these cars. So when we do the rod bearings, we're just gonna do the valve cover and valve cover gasket. I'd rather be safe than sorry when it comes to that kind of stuff and just take care of it. Other than that, the car's in great condition, man. We shaved down that oil cap area that I was talking about on the valve cover, and he actually had an E46 M oil cap laying around. So we used that, and the seal seems really good. It seems much better than the stock original one. So we cleaned all the oil up, threw that cap on, and now we're just gonna see. We're gonna see if it leaks again. If not, we're gonna have to go with something else, just kind of get crafty about it. But I also ordered a new one that comes on Monday, so I might try that one out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you're new here. Comment down below, like this video, hit that bell notification just like that. This video's over. I'm out.